Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, we like to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and citation and many blessings to the elect Akim, the house of David. And through the Spirit, we believe that we see that's being built right now. Through the Spirit. And in the ancient Hebrew, that's how you would pronounce it on Bayat Dawadah. And we also want to give shalom to the few sincere sisters that also listen to us as well. All right, I'm the brother Sha'ar, got the brother Yarala with me, and then got the brother Bazat in the back seat. You know, the brother from the GMS San Antonio. And we just want to go into a quick lesson on where this is in transit. The date is September the 16th, I believe, of 2017. And we just want to, we were talking. And we were just really, the Spirit spurred us in, spurred a moment. Really want to go into this supper that's being made. And we were talking about it, just meditated on it. And it's pretty much how important this supper is, because you have certain so-called key people in society that are deemed high, that might make a supper so forth, and they invite a lot of kings there. But this supper that's being made, none of these people are invited, man. Out of billions of people on the planet Earth, there's 6 point something billion people on the planet Earth, and majority of them aren't bound to this supper. They're not invited. Yahweh Shai invited certain individuals, and this is the creator. This is the right hand of the Heavenly Father. This is the creator of worlds, and he invited us to a supper. So how would we look saying no, or saying you got this to do, saying you got a family you got to take care of, so forth, going back into the world? This is the greatest supper ever made, and it will be a spit in the face for somebody to toil so hard on calling people to a great ceremony, and you don't want to go to because you have this going on or that going on. Because you see a lot of that going on with Jake right now, especially that we're at the final hour. We see the finish line right ahead of us, and Jake is making excuses, okay? So I'm going to read Luke 14:16. Then said he unto him, a certain man made a great supper, and bade many. And you got to excuse me, I got to stuff your nose and everything. Verse 17. And sent his servant at supper time to say to them that were bidden, come, for all these things are now ready. All right, and who is that servant that he has sent at supper time, man? It's Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is the one that's binding us up, man. The Spirit. And then verse 18 it says, and they all with one consent began to make excuses. The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must needs go and see it. I pray thee have me excused. And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray thee have me excused. And another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. So, pretty much, and it's beautiful how the Lord always shows 3 examples of things. All right? You had somebody that made an example of an excuse in 3 different scenarios, because those are three high scenarios that Jake will make an excuse for. They woman, they job, the worldly stuff, and also the first one was a piece of ground, riches, substance, so forth. They choose that over the truth. When they don't, we have to realize, being in this thing, that none of this stuff is ours anyway. This is all Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai's. He blessed us with the consolation of the brotherhood, and he also gave us certain jobs, certain things to attend to while we're down here. But this is the most important job.
All this stuff is temporal, man.
That's right.
All like the brother said, he gave us it. So the Lord give it, the Lord take it away. He gives you riches, he can make you poor as well. Mm-hmm. So it's all up for the Heavenly Father. So you give honor to that, and you say through honor, but you still understand what the overall goal is.
That's right.
To do his will, man. Those are just tools used in this world to further the truth. That's what it's supposed to be used for.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a lot of money, if you're blessed, or you're blessed with a wife, all that's supposed to benefit you in the truth.
That's right.
It's supposed to make you easier to operate in this world to do the truth or to live out your life according to that, man. So when you choose that, you're worshiping that over the Creator. The Lord is going. What He's going to do is going to take that from you. He's going to destroy you with that, or He's going to destroy that because that's what you hold most dear. You know.
That's right. Did you have anything to say, Bazak?
Real quick. I wanted to get Matthew 25 real quick.
Okay.
Because it goes into being foolish. Now really making hella excuses and all that dumb shit is really being foolish.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So this is Matthew 25:1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. That bridegroom being Yahushua. Verse 2. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 of them were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. Now, oil, the oil is the understanding. Okay. Verse 4.
Really quick, and also because I know you had brought it out, let's pull this word foolish up. That word there in the Greek, I'm gonna let Esau say it.
Strong's G 3474. Moras.
Moras, okay? That means foolish, impious, or godless.
Godless is huge.
That's a huge thing, man, because these 5 foolish virgins were people that were so caught in the know. You know? And then it says godless, and it shows you how serious this thing is that we're part of, man. Like it says in Revelations, the 3rd chapter, you know, I'd rather have you cold nor hot. You know, cold or hot. Because thou have been lukewarm, what does he say? I have spewed thee out of my mouth. You know? So that's an example of individuals who are lukewarm. Chose to make those excuses. All right? Because they believe in their mind that, okay, I'll be forgiven. I'll be forgiven real easy because, you know, I got this I got to handle. One excuse to turn to another excuse to turn to 10 other excuses, and lo and behold, you in the world and don't even realize you in the world no more, man. That's why it's important to have that oil. All right, let's go to verse 4.
On to verse 4. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps, while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish.
Mind if I break verse 6 down really quick? Con. And the reason why we do this, you know, is that way we get full understanding of the scriptures. You know, to go precept by precept. You know, not negating what you're saying, brother, but there was a key point that was in verse 6. And it says, and at midnight there was a cry made. All right, and what does that midnight represent? That last hour, you know? Because, you know, it talks about those servants that begin to pretty much, you know, be woken up at that 11th hour. Okay, and this even ties in to what we had read in Luke 14. Because it talks about after those men made those excuses, telling him, that servant, to go out to the highways and this and that and bid the low and maimed. All right, the lowly, because those are the ones that pretty much have nothing to lose. You know, those are the ones that those are that virgin that it gave that last farthing, that last bit of everything, and that represents also too the 5 virgins that had that oil. All right, because they had the truth and they kept going. They didn't make no excuses. All right, and we see midnight coming right now. Midnight's on the way. You see all the commotion going on around the planet Earth. You got Jake acting crazy, saying the 2/3 doctrine's not real, it's made up. All right, you got Jake trying to come together in unity camps when everybody has a completely different agenda or doctrine. Jake's getting, and these are all so-called people that's the claim to be in the truth. You know, these are people that know the name of the Lord, that say they've done miracles in his name and so forth. All right, there's a lot of things going on. Did you have something you had to say, brother? Con. But yeah, we'll get to verse 7. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out.
The foolish again means godless. You know, so those godless men, That's heavy, man.
Yeah.
Those guys. Oh, go ahead.
That's why Scripture says the fool has said in his heart there is no God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in their heart, their word in Hebrew is lie, your mind. So you may not be saying it, but your actions are showing that you're saying that there is no God.
Beautiful
man.
point. Beautiful point.
You know, that's how they're acting right now, being godless, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just going around doing whatever they want, and not having the fear of the Heavenly Father, and not having the fear and reverence to do what He said to do, what He commanded, man. You know, worshiping other things, worrying about other things versus worshiping the Creator, man.
That's right.
Okay, having the conclusion of the whole matter, fear the Most High, keep His commandments, man. And they lost that. They got to go back into the world and went over to Satan, man. They started doing what they want to do, filling their own belly.
That's right.
This one, verse 9. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And also that time is right now, man. When Yahushua comes back, it's gonna be too late. You know. Verse 10. So it's my last verse. Matthew 25:10. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. So when midnight comes and Yahushua, you know, makes his grand opening, man, like it's so like it. For the foolish, it's going to be too late, man. You know. 2/3, you know, people who are lazy gave excuses and all that stuff. You gotta.
Absolutely. For the lazy ones, the ones that made excuses, those are the ones that asked for the oil, because I'm pretty sure if that door would have been cracked open, they'd be like, what do you want? You know, they would have made excuses of why they ain't go. Why they stop putting their hand to the plow. Because ultimately that's what that goes to, man. To stop putting your hand to the plow.
I actually had that too.
That's the spirit.
Bring up real quick. Luke 9:62. And Yahushua said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the king. Oh, slack. Let me start over. Luke 9:62. And Yahushua said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High.
That's right.
So hey, that's when you put your hand to the plow, man. You're doing this work, and you start looking back, making excuses, get a good job, or you know what I'm saying, you get married, get you a new boo, something that you really been wanting, and you get to worshiping her and looking back and doing things to please that position, okay? Or putting all your focus on that job, or your woman, or you come into some land. You're not fit for the kingdom of the Most High, man. Why? Because you made an agreement. You made a blood covenant to do this work in the fear of the Heavenly Father, man. And so you're not fit for the kingdom. You're not worthy of staying in for that banquet. You're not worthy of partaking in that supper that the Lord has set up, man. Hey, you're gonna be cast out. Okay, you're gonna be escorted out by security, man. They're like, nah, man.
Who is this guy? My name is on the list. It's on the list. No, I don't see it.
I don't see your name ain't on the list, bro. Nah, man, your name ain't on the list. So what? You gonna get escorted out and you're gonna be destroyed because of that. Why? Hey, you put your hands to the plow. You agree to do this work, man, but then you start turning back and being a double-minded nigga.
That's right.
The Lord ain't dealing with that. The Lord ain't dealing with somebody that's lukewarm and that's double-minded and you can't tell what they're gonna do. The Lord has to be able to trust you, man.
That's right, brother.
So you're not worthy of the kingdom, you know?
And I'm gonna jump back to Luke 14. And I'm gonna go to Luke 14, verse 21. So going back over there, after the brothers brought beautiful precepts going into this, these are all precepts of men that had made those excuses. All right, so as we go to verse 21, it says, So that servant came and showed his Lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, Go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in hither the poor and the maimed and the halt and the blind. All right, and that even that goes into what we're doing right now, man. All right, because even you have the ancient prophets. Look at the ancient prophets and look when they preached. Jake didn't want to hear them out, man. Jake didn't want to hear him. And then Jake got to making excuses that claimed to want to hear. All right. That's why it says really, in Romans, the 10th chapter, it talks about, go to them who were once not a people. You know, those are the blind, the sick, so forth. Verse 23, it says, and the Lord said unto a servant, go into the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. And that's what we do on the highways and byways ultimately when we preach as well. You know, that's what we do. We go to the highways and byways like we're commanded to. And like Yahushua did with it. Look, the beautiful thing is when Yahushua was on his ministry, after he was baptized by John, he went and he seen John and James with their dad. And then he said, come on. And they dropped everything and went on. The same thing with Cephas and Andrew. You know, they dropped everything and went right when that voice said, come on. And that's what we do through the Spirit. Lord willing, we continue. And the Spirit's compelled us to do that same exact thing. Because we're coming in a lot of our forefathers. Lord willing, we continue in this thing. All right. It says, for I say unto you that none of those men which were bidden shall taste my supper. All right. So those ones that make those excuses, those are the same ones that aren't going to taste the supper. And ultimately, when we read these scriptures and we have that understanding, that's the Spirit of Yahushua supping with us. So that's part of that dinner as well. Matter of fact, I'm going to go to Revelations chapter 3, verse 20. And it says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice, and that voice is the word, and open the door, I will come in and will sup with him and he with me. All right, so it's an important thing that we continue to do this work, because this is the blueprint. All right, this is the instructions manual on how to get to the kingdom. All right, because all these people out here don't got it, man. They all trying to find their own version of the truth, especially Jake. You know, Jake trying to go deep down in Egyptology, so forth, this and that, while they trying to find truth. But the truth is right here. But they don't have the knock. The Spirit's not dealing with them. The Lord ain't knocking at their door. Okay? But he's knocking on our door. And it's our job as little children running to that door and opening it so we can sup with him. And he with us. All right?
That's why our scriptures always say abounding in thanksgiving. You know, giving thanks and credence, man. And being thankful. Why? Because everybody can't get this. Most of the Lord ain't dealing with everybody, man. He doesn't want everybody, so it's an honor and a blessing to be able to understand what's going on.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? To see clearly, to have those lights, to have those shades on, like in that movie They Live, to see everything for what it is. You know, not everybody get there. Everyone else is blinded, man. So if you just squander this gift, man, that's why your latter end is gonna be worse than the beginning, according to 2 Peter.
That's right, brother.
You know, because you return to the vomit and you return to your to the mire like the sow and the dog, man. That's why Lord's gonna destroy those type of guys. They gonna have some of the worst destructions.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because they had the truth, they had the gift, and they threw it back in the Most High's face, man. They shoved the plate back in his face. Like, I don't want this. You know, I want some slop. You know, and he's gonna destroy people like that, you know?
That's right, brother. Beautiful point. Beautifully put. Bazai, did you have anything to say?
That's it for me.
Con. Well, we pulling up to where we got to drop the brother off at. It was just on our spirit to go into that. Lord willing, it was edifying. Again, we want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and citation to the elect, the house of David. Kicking this word of sincerity and truth. Shalom.
Shalom.